You guys know that meme, and it's that little guy like poking it with a stick and he's like, do something. That is the vibe that I'm bringing to today's function. Hey guys, what's up? It's Belle. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, and if you've come back, thank you so much. Today, you guys, is the start of a new reading vlog. I know I haven't done one since my rereading favorites video, but obviously because I loved those books so much, I thought they were going to help me get out of a slump. They then put me into a further deeper slump because I just didn't want to leave the worlds. Like, I just loved them so much. So to give you guys a little bit of I guess an idea as to where I'm at the moment, I have been in an absolute thriller cave, okay? Like, I don't understand what happened. Basically, after finishing, what was the last book I read? Twisted Games, like the reread of that. I started reading this book called That's Not My Name by Megan Lally, and I read it in 3.5 hours. It was so good. And then basically over the last week, I have read like 3 thrillers. It's just like all I want to consume. But I feel like now I want to go back to my roots, change it up a bit. So I thought this week we could do a reading vlog, but I thought we could mood read for the next few days. It is so hard when you feel like you are in a reading slump. So I guess I'm going to take you guys along with me and see the books that I feel like reading this week. It's kind of interesting though, because I actually have been reading a lot of 5 stars. Like, obviously I reread 3 5 stars, but then since finishing those 3 rereads, I have given 2 more books 5 stars, which is just unheard of for me to give that many books 5 stars in a month. So I'm in the mood to read a romance because I haven't obviously read some in quite a while. So without further ado, you guys, let's get comfy, let's get cozy, and let's get right on into this video. Anyway, guys, as I said, I'm in the mood at the moment to start a romance. Now, here is where I'm at essentially. I am actually 73% through Tourist Trap by Morgan Elizabeth. I was very kindly sent an ARC of this book. I really love Morgan's books, but I will tell you guys that I have been reading this book for 2 weeks. I don't know what it is. I don't know if obviously this is a summer book and I'm in Australia where it is raining all the time and is definitely starting to get colder. I've been really struggling to read this book, but I would like to finish it today because it comes out in 2 days time. So I think that will be the first one that we tackle. But I actually did ask you guys over on my Insta stories this morning to pick between 3 romances. So I picked 2 books off my physical TBR for the month and then I added another one in. So I have Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez and The Partner Plot by Christina Forrest, which were on my TBR this month. And then I also put Spiral by Val Cabra because I just realized that this is a fake dating romance and I have not read fake dating in so long. I miss it. So you guys did vote for, oh, it was actually very close between Spiral and Part of Your World, but Part of Your World at the moment is at the 50% point. So I'm going to continue on with Tourist Trap until I have to leave for my appointment, and hopefully we can finish this one today. Okay guys, I'm about to say something icky and potentially like a little bit gross, but I need some advice. I need some opinions to be sounded off in the comments because, okay, I need a general consensus. For people who read romance and spicy romance and whatever, do you guys ever really struggle to read the spicy scenes when you don't feel the chemistry or a connection between the main couple? Because I will skim read scenes. I'm sorry, I will skim read a scene if I don't like the couple. Like, if I'm not vibing the couple, if I don't feel an emotional connection between the couple, I will skip the scenes. But then like in this one, there's a spicy scene with some backdoor action and I just can't. Like, I'm okay with it when I'm vibing the couple, but when I'm not, I'm like, I don't want to see it. Like, you know what I mean? Please let me know what you think. I love Morgan Elizabeth so much and I'm so grateful that she sent me an ARC, but I can't give this book more than 3 stars. I just can't. Y'all, ignore the dehumidifier in the background. It's cold today, guys. It's really cold. But anyways, I feel so bad, you guys. If I did not get sent an ARC of this, I probably would have DNF'd this book by now. I am being so genuine right now. The only reason I'm finishing this book is, and you guys have to be fair here, it's the first ARC I've ever been sent by her. I've read a lot of her books, but this is the first time she's ever reached out to give me an ARC. So I am finishing it, but I just need you guys to know, basically the premise of this whole book, I didn't explain it, but essentially it's about this girl called Claire who moves to this small beach town to take a lifeguarding job over the summer break. She ends up running into her ex's brother, Miles, and she ends up staying at his house because she's got nowhere to stay. But basically it's come to the 3rd act conflict or breakup, whatever. And basically, in order for someone to win something and win something back, they're not going to settle it in court like adults. No, they are going to form teams and play beach games. I can't even make this stuff up. God, I am not one of your strongest soldiers. I am not one of your strongest soldiers. Okay, so here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. Let me turn my dehumidifier off. It's too dang noisy. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Okay, so I read a lot of romance, okay? I read a lot of dark romance. I read a lot of romance, okay? I'm a romance girly first. I read a lot of spice. You know I love a lot of spice. You know I love some crazy spice. But the one thing, okay, that like I have said earlier in this video, if I don't feel the connection between the main couple, it makes my skin crawl. Like it just makes me feel like I'm intruding or watching an adult film, and I don't want to be watching an adult film, you know what I mean? So this being said, remember how before we were talking about some stuff? Well, guess what's about to happen? Okay, we're about to go in the back door and I don't want it. I don't want it, okay? And I don't want it. And like, here's the thing. Here's what's crazy. Do you know what's crazy? I read a lot of and I love it. When it happens, I'm like, let's go, boys. Now, no. I'm intruding and I don't want to read it. I'm sorry. Guys, do you ever read a book and you learn so much about yourself, about like what you enjoy in a book or like what you think you used to enjoy and now you just don't? I have learned that I don't like the ex's brother trope. And I've also learned that I don't like an age gap any bigger than 10 years through the different books that I've read, right? I think I have learned through this book that I don't like the back door unless I like the couple. Sorry, the first 5 minutes of this video is gonna be me talking about the back door and that's really bad. I should take a shot every time a romance book ends with an epilogue where they get engaged. I don't care. Give me something. Oh my God, give me something better to read. Guys, am I being so mean? Do you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna start editing this video and I'm gonna delete all of this footage because I'm being mean. I'm sorry, but like, why does every romance have an epilogue that takes place a year later and the very last bit is him somehow proposing? Bleh, potato, potato, potato. Where is something new? I want something different. That was rough. Let's talk about it. Okay, guys, very briefly, I'm just gonna say I finished the first I yelled my way through my first read of this video, okay? I finished off the last 20% of Tourist Trap by Morgan Elizabeth. Now, before I even talk about this, I just need you guys to know Passenger Princess by Morgan Elizabeth is one of my favorite books of all time. It is a 5-star Roman Empire. This book is sensational and I need every man and their dog to read it. However, I've read maybe 5 of her books now and I've had an even split of like absolutely loving her books and then just thinking some of them are like, okay, like cute, like they're still worth the read, but they're just average. Now, Tourist Trap, I actually really liked for the first like 50 to 40%, but you know when a couple just gets together at the halfway point and you're like, why? This is a romance and you want to tell me that all their problems are solved at the halfway point? No, babes. And then I just had so many issues with the back end. I was bored. Yes, I heard the innuendo, but I didn't mean it. Here's the thing. Okay, we're finished with that. Here's the thing, you guys. Okay, so I need a change of pace. Remember how I told you guys to vote on those romance books? That's not happening right now. Because at the moment, I am a romance hater. This is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go to the bookstore. Are we even surprised? I literally just did a book haul before this video. But here's what I want to do. There is this new book that I have literally seen everybody reading. My tongue is brown because I've been drinking coffee, okay? It's called Silver Elite. Everyone's told me it's like Divergent for adults, okay? And I want to debunk the theory or prove the theory, okay? So I think I need a change of pace. So let's go to the store, spend some moolah. Okay, you guys are gonna be proud of me because guess what? Hold on. I only bought 2 books. Claps all around for Belle for her self-control, okay? So obviously the book that I literally scoured about 4 bookshops for, this book has just exploded. Now, from what I know, this is If Fourth Wing Met Divergent is what the bookseller was telling me. Like I said, I knew it was a Divergent vibe. I feel like this is going to be like Quicksilver. In terms of the silver elements, not in terms of like the fairies and that, because I know this is more dystopian. Apparently she said it was like a dystopian thriller, so I think that's going to be what we read next. But also, you guys, oh my God, 500. Why do I do this? But I always do this, always check to see how many pages there are, and then I somehow see the end of the book, which is just not very smart of me. Guys, I decided to go for a thriller because that's just who I am at the moment. Okay, so we're going to read this. Good morning, everyone. It is the next day. Now, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a reading update. It's about 8 o'clock and I definitely want to get a lot of reading done today. I just feel like it's the day for it. It's actually really cold today, even though we finally have some sun, which is really nice. So I'm rugged up in bed, hence why I'm still in the same hoodie from yesterday. I threw it back on. So I wanted to give you guys a bit of an update. Yesterday was just a write-off day because I was honestly on another planet yesterday. It was like loopy city. I don't even know how to describe it. So last night, you guys would have seen in that clip, I started reading this book. It is called Hidden Pictures. This is by Jason Rekulak. I'm not sure how to say their name. I do apologize. This is a thriller that has like some horror elements. Now, I sort of might have said to you guys that this month I've definitely for some reason just joined the dark side and I am loving thrillers. Like they're really intriguing to me at the moment, which is a massive change of pace from my primary romance genre. So to give you guys a bit of an idea as to what this book is about, this follows this girl called Mallory, and she essentially gets a new babysitting job looking after this little boy called Teddy. Teddy and his family have just recently moved back to the United States and they've just moved into this house, and ever since they've moved into this house, Teddy has been drawing a lot more, right? So there's like all these little, like, you know how kids do those cute little drawings. He keeps drawing his imaginary friend called Anya. What's really cool about this book is there are actually drawings inside, which I was sort of showing you guys last night. And basically as the book progresses, these drawings start to get creepier and creepier, but I'm enjoying it so far. I'm going to sit down and read for a little bit more. I'm about 50 pages in, so we will see how we go with this. You guys, this book is so cool. I'm trying to see how I can talk about it without spoiling it. I mean, like, obviously, I know a lot of you probably won't be thriller readers. This is so cool. I originally thought when I started it that it was going to be more of like a horror book, but it's not. It's definitely giving thriller with horror elements. We are trying to find out what happened to somebody, which is so cool. Now, I was telling you guys that obviously, like, this kid is drawing pictures of his imaginary friend, but the more we learn about this imaginary, I just want to tell you guys so badly what's happening because it's so cool. Okay, if you don't want to know, I'm just going to put a timestamp to skip past what I'm about to say if you don't want to know, but it's so cool. I just have to share it. So basically, where this kid lives, there's like a house and then there's like a little cottage out the back of the house, right? And where the nanny is, like Mallory, where she's staying is in that little cottage. But one day, like the next door neighbor basically comes over and says, hey, like, did you hear about the old woman that was unalived in the cottage you're staying in? She's like, no. She's like, yeah, that's why no one ever went in there. Anyway, she finds out that her name is Annie Baker or something like that, which sounds very similar to Anya, which is the name of Teddy's imaginary friend. We find out that Annie is actually was an artist. And you know what's so crazy? Teddy is drawing these pictures of basically like a woman being put into a grave and like all these things. So basically this is so cool because no one really knew what happened to Annie, who was unalived. I think what's happening, I mean, it's not being confirmed, is Annie is using Teddy to draw out what happened to her so that like people can finally know how she got unalived. I just think that is so cool because it's different to a creepy kid like, you know, possession or whatever, where it's just like a creepy entity trying to be mean. What's really cool about this is obviously no one knew what actually happened to her, so she is using the little boy to like draw out so that she can finally have justice, which I think is so cool. So like what is happening is the drawings are getting like such good quality. Like look at that bunny rabbit, right? Because obviously she was an artist, so she's now like it's so cool. I just think it's really cool. So I'm now really into it because like I said to you guys earlier, I was like super scared because I thought the drawings were just going to be like creepy, but now I'm so intrigued because I want to know. I just think it's so cool. Also, another thing I forgot to mention that I'm loving about this is we've got a bit of like a romance subplot, which is so nice. I feel like the last thriller I read that had a romance subplot was like Verity. I don't even know if you'd call that a romance subplot, but I love that we're getting it. Like, oh, this book is so good. I'm so shook. All right, you guys. It is about 11:30. I thought I'd give you guys a bit of an update on Hidden Pictures because it is so good, but I'm just about to go down to have some lunch with my mum in her offices and I'm going to show her how to use Canva because she doesn't know how to use it and she needs it for her job. But I thought I'd give you an update on this. Maybe I'll swing you around this way. This book is crazy. Like literally, if I had nothing else to do today, like I do have to do some work as well for my job, but if I didn't have work to do today, I would literally sit and read this whole thing in one sitting. It is so addictive. It's like 1 minute I think I know what's happening and where the story's going, and then it just like goes another direction. It's a whole thing. I'm on chapter 19, so I'm 217 pages in, so I'm just over the halfway mark. I feel like I'm gonna binge this today. So like I said, I'm gonna go down and see my mum now. We'll have some lunch and then probably get some reading done there if I can, and then hopefully we will finish this off. You guys, has anybody ever had a reaction like this to a thriller? Oh my god. Guys, I don't know what's happening this month, but I'm just reading banger after banger after banger. I mean, look, let's ignore Tourist Trap from yesterday. Why am I crying like this after a thriller? What is in this? So basically, you guys, obviously, I actually am gonna be sick. Here's what happened. I went down to see my mom and to do some work, but I forgot my camera at home. So that's kind of a bit bad because I did read a lot of this book when I was there. When I tell you guys, I want my mom to like later, I'll get her to like tell you what happened, because she basically got like a phone call when I was there and I was like, oh, I'll just read like while she's on the phone. And I kid you not, I got to the plot twist of this book and I like leapt out of my chair and she's looking at me like, what is wrong with you? You guys know when you get like full body goosebumps? That is how I felt reading the plot twist in this. I was so gagged. It's a given that this is a 5-star book. I'm giving it 5 stars. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, this is what I'm saying. I'm having banger after banger after banger this month. I have had, if I include my rereads, I have had 6 5-star reads this month. If I do not, I have had 3 5-star reads, which even that as it is, I never have 3 5-star reads in a month, and we're only halfway through May, which is absolutely ridiculous. Guys, this book was so genius. I did not see anything coming, but then when the plot twist was revealed, I like immediately was like, oh my god, I am going back to this conversation, I'm going back to this conversation, and it was right under my nose the whole time. It was so well done, finding out what was going on, and the ending was sort of bittersweet, and like that's why I'm crying, because the ending was like so. Anyways, if you want to read a thriller that leans spooky, like if you like a thriller that could potentially lean more on the horror side, I think you will love this. Obviously, be forewarned that, as I said, there are pictures in the book, and as you progress through the story, the pictures get creepier and more realistic and very creepy, but they play a massive part in telling the story of what we're trying to find out, I guess. Oh, this was just wonderful. I cannot say it enough how much I loved this. You guys, my mum just got home, so I want to go downstairs and get her to tell you guys what I did when I read the plot twist, and then I need to tell them about this because I have told about 6 people now what happened in this book. It's so good, so let's go see it. She'll like reenact it for you. Good morning, besties and friends of mine. Excuse the ring light in the corner. It clearly wanted to be featured today. Anyways, it is a new day and obviously time to start a new book, because after the crash out of Hidden Pictures last night, I was thinking about what I wanted to read and I thought maybe I wanted to pick up Silver Elite, but then I was like, no. Guys, I've seen so many negative reviews on it. Like, first I was seeing all positives, so I went and bought it. Now I'm seeing all negatives. And then one of my besties just sent me a TikTok that Silver Elite is like if Katniss, instead of dating Peter, decided to sleep with one of the game makers and then was like, oh yeah, the Capitol's all right. So anyways, that being said, I thought, you know, because I'm still in a weird space with my reading this month, I don't think picking up a romantasy or dystopian is going to be very clever, because they can tend to either make or break a reading slump. Last month, I read a lot of romantasy. This month, I haven't touched romantasy at all, right? So given that I did a reread of Twisted Games earlier this month, I just remembered how much I really love Anna Hong's writing, and I feel like I haven't read one of her newer releases since The Striker that came out last year. Just really do love her books, and I realized that I'm very behind on her most current series, and that is the Kings of Sin series. So I thought, because they're now on Kindle Unlimited, I could finally pick up King of Sloth, which is book number 4. Now King of Envy just came out, which is book number 5, so yes, I'm a couple of books behind. I like this series. I really liked King of Pride and King of Greed. King of Greed was great. I wasn't a fan of King of Wrath because I just didn't like the female main character. Everyone has actually said, and I remember when this one came out, that it was their favorite since Twisted Twisted Games. Since then, I've actually heard even better things about King of Envy, which is book number 5. So I definitely want to start this one this morning. I've got it on my Kindle ready to go because obviously it's now Kindle Unlimited. What a slay. I don't know what this is about, but I'm assuming this guy is lazy. Charming, easygoing, and rich beyond belief, Xavier Castillo has the world at his fingertips. He also has no interest in taking over his family's empire, but that hasn't stopped women from throwing themselves at him unless the woman in question is his publicist. Scandalo! Nothing brings him more joy than riling her up, but when a tragedy forces them closer than ever, he must grapple with the uncertainty of his future and the realization that the only person immune to his charms is the only one he truly wants. This is going to be so good. I feel like this is going to give reverse Grumpy Sunshine, potentially. Obviously, a little bit of like boss employee, forced proximity. I'm excited. It's a longer one. It's about 440 pages or so. So let's go downstairs. Let's make something for breakfast and have a coffee and get started. Hello guys, I'm back upstairs. I thought I'd give you guys an update on King of Sloth because I am absolutely loving this book. It's so good. It's definitely a reverse Grumpy Sunshine, as I was sort of predicting, which is one of my absolute favorite tropes. I'm not a Taylor Swift girly, but she has corrupted my music taste. There is a playlist. Anna Hong always does playlists in her book, and how cute's the art, right? So that's Xavier and that is Sloane. But the first song on the playlist is Midnight Rain by Taylor Swift, which is perfect because it very much is, he was sunshine, I was midnight rain vibes, you know what I mean? It's very much that. I'm loving this so far. It's also it's gonna give me my Twisted Games crumbs because we are on vacation in Spain, baby. He basically is like this very laid back, relaxed son of a billionaire who just like is riding on the coattails of his father's fortune. He has no ambition, no job. He's literally just partying and carrying on and blah, blah, blah. And she's obviously his publicist and in charge of making sure that he does the right things. And he says, you need to loosen up, Sloane. So you and I are going on vacation to Spain for 1 week. You are not allowed to do any work and we're gonna have a good time together. So it is so good. I have highlighted so much. This is honestly like the first time in a while that I've been like super giddy to read a romance book, especially a billionaire romance, because I haven't read Billionaire in such a long time. I'm on chapter 10, so I am about 80 pages in. Yeah, I'm about 80 pages in. I'm loving it. I'm having a great time. I'm so happy that I can read it on Kindle because I'm basically going to highlight everything and then transfer all my annotations into the book when I'm done. Guys, this could be a really good one. He also calls her Luna and she doesn't know why. She's like, I don't understand because it has nothing to do with my name. It's not a nickname. So obviously we're going to figure out why he calls her Luna. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where it goes. I have to do a little bit of work now, but I'm hoping to get a little bit more done today. It's a great day to be alive. A Reese Larson mention. Not only a Reese Larson mention, I'm literally going to scream my head off. Where did it go? Oh no. Reese Larson is now known as Prince Reese. Nobody understands how much I love that man. Basically the MMC of this book, he might be like a designer or something. And he's like, hey, if it's good enough for Prince Reese, it's good enough for me. He likes to sketch in his free time too. Sloane says, I couldn't imagine the gorgeous but broody crowned Prince of Eldora enjoying something as soft as drawing. My Shayla. Sorry, just to inform that crash out. For those who haven't read any of like Anna Hong's books before, all of her books are like in the same universe, if that makes sense, like all of her series. So she has the Twisted series, she has the Kings of Sin series, and she has also just started the Gods of the Game series, which is going to be a sports romance series. So basically all of the characters and all the stories are set in the same world. They're just in different spaces and friendship groups and stuff. So Reese Larson is the male main character of Twisted Games, which is the second book in the Twisted series. It's set in the same world, so they all talk about the characters. They also talked about Asher Donovan, who is the male main character of The Striker, as I was saying. It's really cool how she does drop those Easter eggs. Like, it's not like crucial that you have to have read the books, but for those who have read her other books, it's nice to see like the other characters pop up and also like get mentioned sometimes. Okay guys, so I'm about 40% through King of Sloth right now and I'm really enjoying it, which I'm glad. I also just realized as well that it's one of my 25 books that I wanted to read in 2025 or like needed to read. I did make a list at the beginning of the year of like priority reads, things that I sort of didn't get to last year or haven't got to for a very long time. So I'm glad that I decided to pick that one up. It is really good. I'm gonna go down and visit my mum again at her office. I might do some reading, but then we'll come back. You say hi, mommy. Can you show them what I did yesterday?
What am I showing them? Oh, yes, that's right. Hey, this is Belle Therese's mum. What is it? Belle's library books, mum.
Just Belle. I just wanted you to tell them that I jumped out of my chair. I don't need you to...
What are you trying to do? Quick.
All I wanted you to do was tell them that I jumped out of my chair. So mum's sitting there and she's on the phone or whatever.
Yes.
And I was like,
it's me on the phone.
Around this way.
I've got the camera the right way. Because I can only see myself.
Yeah, spin it the other way. Just like shot up. I like stood here frozen for like 5 minutes.
Yes, you
Mum's
did.
Like, it's not that funny. I wanted you to tell them that.
Okay, hang up, I'll do it again. Hang up, I'll do it again.
No, we're done. We're going home. Say bye, Mum.
Bye. Sorry, darling.
Bye, OG Therese.
Okay, see you, darling.
All right. Hello everybody. It is not the next day, it is the day after, so it is now Friday. I didn't do any reading yesterday, which is kind of unfortunate because I guess I've mentioned in vlogs before that Sundays and Thursdays that I basically spend the majority of the day editing my 2 YouTube videos for the week. So yesterday I just like, I don't know, I spent a lot of time doing that, but I also had to like, normally I film my sit down videos, I'll film it on one day and edit it the next day, but I ended up doing both yesterday. So I really just had like no energy to read yesterday. So I basically like rotted in front of the TV and then spent the rest of the night reading fan fiction in my bed. So anyways, that being said, I have to actually go down to the post office to drop some stuff off for my brother. But because the post office that is closest to us at the moment, there is like this boat show going on, which means that cars can't go in and out of the estate, which is kind of frustrating. So it is about a 25-minute walk if I walk. So I thought, you know what? I will crack out the old AirPods and I thought we could listen to more of King of Sloth. Now, I am 20 chapters in, so I'm at page 164. So hopefully we can hear a bit more of this. I have never listened to any of Anna Huang's audiobooks because I heard that the Twisted series as well was like kind of cringe, so I didn't listen to them. But of course this is a newer series, so I'm hoping that she sort of kept with the times and has got a dual narration thing going on. So I'm just crossing all my fingers and toes. So you guys, my headphones are not charged. I have to charge my headphones. I'm just apologizing in advance because I have just started listening to the audio because I am Italian, okay? I just say Xavier. I've got no flavor to me, okay? But I've just listened to the audio and it's pronounced Javier. Obviously, he's Latino. I feel so embarrassed. So I'll call him Javier from now on, okay? You guys, I literally can't with spicy things. When I listen to them on audio, I don't know what it is. It makes me literally, I could sit there with a stone face reading spice and it's no problem. The minute I like listen to it, I'm like, people are gonna hear. I've got headphones, but people are gonna hear what I'm doing. They're gonna know what I'm up to. Hello guys, it is a bit later in the day, 20 to 5, but I thought I'd give you guys a bit of a reading update because I listened to a lot of audio today. So let me just go on my Spotify. I am on chapter 29, 260 pages in. I've read quite a bit of this today and it is very good. Like I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying it. As I sort of said, it is reminding me of the OG Anna Huang that I fell in love with when I read like Twisted Games and things like that back in the day. So it's nice to see her come back to her roots a little bit. I don't know if listening to the audiobook was a bit silly because one, I will say I love it because it's the first audiobook I've listened to that actually has dual narration in each other's chapters, if that makes sense. Like I've read dual narration before, but it's nice to have like the guy narrator actually say the lines in the female main character's you know, chapter and blah blah blah. So that is one thing that is nice about it. But I just like have always been so like, I get icked out listening to spicy scenes. I can read them, like I said to you when I was on my walk, I can read them with like a blank face, but the moment I like listen to it, I'm like, this is like I am going to read a little bit more of this now. I'll probably read on my Kindle. Good morning, besties. How are we? It is Saturday. Happy Saturday. I wanted to give you guys a bit of an update because I am about 80% through King of Sloth, so I'm almost done. The male main character just did something that demoted the book dramatically. In the Anna Huang universe, okay, Reese Larson is the blueprint. Because that man did nothing wrong at all. And when I was hearing about King of Sloth, everybody was sort of saying that like this is like giving Twisted Games and like male main characters everything. And I thought that Javier was going to be the same. But one of my biggest gripes in a romance book is when in a moment of anger or like something has happened to the male main character, he's super furious and like the main couple's having a fight. When he throws an insult at her that is to do with her character that he knows that she's insecure about, it immediately demotes so many brownie points. And I'm really sad because I was really liking the book. That just like completely has made me really upset. And I understand he's upset and something's happened, but I won't tell you what that is. But like, you know she's insecure about that. Why are you throwing it at her? It's like a big no-no to me. When you're angry, like people say like, oh, say things you don't mean, but it does bring things to the surface that you want to use as like a dig point and a dig device, and it just really upsets me because guys, this was probably going to be like a 4.5 star. We shall see. All right guys, my room is an absolute pigsty and I just feel like super stagnant and I don't want to do anything. I've got like 10 books. I need a book journal downstairs. I need to finish King of Sloth and I just like don't want to. So I think what I need to do is clean my space. I've got a lot of washing to put away and just like random stuff that's all over my room. So because I've only got 20% left of King of Sloth, I think I'm going to listen to it whilst I do that. And then hopefully when I'm back, I will have a finished reading update for you guys. I'm so scared right now. Hold on. This is so cooked, guys. Hello guys. It's a bit later in the day. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. As you can tell, I have washed my hair. Yes, I put the same shirt back on. Don't judge me. I thought I'd tell you guys that I finished King of Sloth finally, which is very nice to finally have done. I sort of was saying to you guys, obviously, that I was taking a lot longer than usual to finish this book. I think it took me about 5 days to read. Before I talk about King of Sloth, I will say that I obviously demoted a few points because it took me so long. So for that reason, this can't be a 5-star read. However, you guys would have seen just then that I inserted a little clip of me listening to the last couple of chapters, obviously whilst I was cleaning, as I told you I was going to do. And I will say that, I don't know if it was because of the audio or the book itself, but it definitely redeemed itself in the last couple of chapters. I was swooning. I thought it was so classic Anna Huang. Like I said, I missed her writing when she was doing Twisted Games, like, and things like that, like the Twisted series. I think she really had something special in her writing. And I feel like whilst I've enjoyed the previous books in Kings of Sin, they haven't been giving me the 5-star tingles or even the 4.5-star tingles, but this book definitely did. And like, there was a big love confession towards the end that just had me melting, and like, you know, when things get revealed, it's really fun. So I think for King of Sloth, I'm going to give it a 4-star, which is still such a solid rating. I really enjoyed this. I think he might be my favorite MMC. I do really love Kai. I am very impressed. I'm so happy that I finally read it. Like I said, for now it's going to be a 4-star. If I change my opinion, it could potentially be a 4.25 star. Let's go 4.25. I thoroughly enjoyed the ending, so this is the most whack review, but anyway, you're welcome. Let me get the books I read and we'll talk about them. All right, guys, so let's do a quick little recap of the 3 books that I read this week. So obviously, first up, I read The Tourist Trap on my Kindle. I was very kindly sent an ARC of this by Morgan Elizabeth's team. You guys know I love all of her other books so much. I just feel like her 2 most recent releases have not been well cooked enough, I should say. Like, I feel like there should have been a little bit, potentially a bit more love given. I will say, now, I don't know if this was just the ARC version that I got. This book is out now, so you guys can go read it if you would like to. I will say I did notice a typo where the female main character accidentally said the name of the male main character from Never Been Worse, which is the 3rd book in her Evergreen Harbor series. So I don't know if she was writing the books at the same time. And as I said, the arc just sort of needed a few revisions and whatnot, but it was kind of, it threw me a bit when she said the male main character of the wrong novel. So that, from that point, sort of told me that this book potentially wasn't left long enough to cook. Upon thinking about the book, I guess days after I finished it, I was very angry at the beginning of the video, okay guys, when I was reading it, because I just was like so over it and at a weird spot in my slump at that time. But what I will say about this book, if you are in the Northern Hemisphere and you're about to go into summer, you will love this. I think for myself, as I said, because we're about to go into winter in Australia, it was hard for me to, I guess, get into the world and the vibe and sort of connect. It's still always really fun. And as I said, the first 50% of the book, I was having such a fun time. The vibes were there. This cute thing with like the hermit crabs is really cute. So I know originally I said I was going to give the book like 2 stars, but I think that is being way too harsh. I ended up settling on a 3, which means I do still recommend the book, but I do think that, as I said, it probably needed a little bit more TLC, a bit of love, and you know, it may be better for audiences who are, again, going into those summer months. And then we read this book, you guys. When I tell you, I have told so many people about this book since finishing it. It was spectacular. I obviously showed you guys all the pictures in here. I have never read anything like this before, where it shows a visual media in a novel. I thought it was very clever. The plot twist was honestly just out of this world. You guys know I love a creepy kid sort of thriller, but this really was more of a mystery. Like, we are trying to find out something throughout this whole book. We are trying to solve a mystery through this book, and the use of the pictures just added another level. I mean, even without the pictures, probably still would have given it what I gave it, which was 5 stars, but having that element to it was just, it set it apart from any thriller that I had read previously. So I did give this one a 5 star. I highly recommend. And then yeah, King of Sloth, as I said, I did love this, and I'm so glad that I finally got to it. It has got me super excited for King of Envy, which is the next one. I have it on my shelf. I don't know if I'm going to start this straight away because my TBR for the month is literally staring at me going, girl, about to call CPS because you've neglected us again. Like, you know what I mean? That's what it's doing. So I would love to jump straight into King of Envy, but I think I need to read Taming 7. I ended up giving this 4.25, and I'm going to give it a 3 chili because listening to some of those audio scenes was crazy. All right, you guys, that is all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for sticking through all the way to the end. If you did, I really appreciate it. If you guys have read any of the books that I read in today's reading vlog, please let me know what you thought because I would love to know. I know a lot of people love King of Sloth. When I posted my little specific recommendations video, I talked about the fact that I was reading King of Sloth, and so many of you commented telling me how much you loved it. So let me know what you thought of that. As always, if you guys aren't already, you're more than welcome to follow me on TikTok and on Instagram. I'll leave my handles on the screen and in the description box. And if you'd like to, you can like this video and subscribe to my channel, and make sure you are hitting that notification bell. That way you're notified each time a brand new video goes up. Thank you guys so much for stopping by again. I really appreciate it. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you are having a lovely day or a lovely night, and I shall see you guys next time. Bye.